I'm going to start this out by talking about Altra shoes. If you'd like to skip this, then go ahead and skip to the end of the video where I talk about the hidden enemy within our shoes. There are two things that I really love about Altra sneakers, as long as the Altra sneakers that you look up are called Zero Drop. Number one, I think they're great for transitioning because you can start getting used to having a little bit more space for your feet in your shoes, and they make the zero drop so you can start getting used to utilizing your hips and your glutes when you walk a little bit more than in traditional shoes. And then secondly, if you have wide feet, Altra are a really amazing transition shoe for you because they have a big enough toe box. I would love to soon end up in a job where I do not have to necessarily wear shoes all day, but the job that I'm in right now, I have to for many reasons. So I wore these. They are supposed to be the most minimalist style of Altra Zero Drop shoes. If you ever hear anyone call them barefoot shoes, that is a dirty, dirty term to call these shoes because they are so not. I would give them, I'm gonna resist the temptation to give them a score like out of 10 for how minimalist they are on my feet, because there are different areas by which you can rate a shoe. Like I think the toe box is definitely an advantage in these shoes. They're also, my feet are pretty short, and these shoes are one of the few pairs of highly structured shoes that aren't way too long for my feet. But here's the thing, they're not zero drop. First of all, there's reinforced rubber on the heel that makes the heel a lot more reinforced than the front of the shoe. The reinforcement of the heel that makes it extra padded or extra shock absorbing, it ruins the sense in my body of how hard to plant my heel or how hard to step when I'm walking. And it's one of those really subtle subconscious things, and I actually end up kind of falling onto my feet when I'm walking rather than having a nice smooth natural gait pattern, and I do blame the shoes. The soles of these shoes are so unyielding that it kind of makes your foot move all as one unit when your foot's walking, rather than your foot being able to deform over different shapes that are underneath it. Just picture the unyielding amount of rubber that is on the sole of the shoe, that it really doesn't bend a whole lot. It's just like, yes, it deforms a little bit, but it's really strong. And if you had to, for example, if you had to like wear a shirt that had to be like put on you by several people because it was made out of rubber that was this thick and this unyielding, you wouldn't be able to twist and bend your spine in all the ways that you have to get through the day and to feel good in your torso. You know, so why should we think that our feet need any less movement than any other part of our body, is my point. Moving on to the hidden enemy, it's these little devils. I already was not enjoying wearing these during my workday, but you know, it wasn't the worst. They stay on your foot and kind of your foot doesn't have to do any work to keep these shoes on them, and that's a good thing. And like I said, they have a good amount of toe room, but the reason why I started even having like lower back strain, and then I started barefoot hiking that evening, and immediately all the muscle strain went away and all the back pain went away. The reason why was that I was wearing no-show socks in order, of course, you know, it's a 9-hour work shift at a hospital. You don't want your shoes to become really gross. So I put on no-shows so that they won't look funny sticking out of my shoe and everything. But these, even though it is subtle, the way that they constrict your foot so that your toes can't spread as much, it has a lot of impact, especially with the number of steps that I take during an average work shift. This thing, no good. Don't do it. Don't wear socks that look like this. Sleek, slim looking socks like this, they will compress your foot bones toward each other, and it will reduce the function of your feet, and your whole body will start to feel stiff the more steps you take in a work day. So if wearing socks is something that you need to do hygienically at your job, you might think, okay, then I should wear an oversized sock so my foot can really spread out. You might think, okay, well, it's roomy, so it doesn't reduce as much how wide I can spread my foot. That's really great. If you want to sleep in socks because your feet are cold, then definitely oversized socks are fine. But for walking around during a work day It's a big no-no because number one, it's going to make your shoes not fit right. If you have shoes that fit really well with no socks on, then an oversized sock is going to make the shoe too constricting on your foot. But more importantly, you're going to lose a lot of traction if you're in a big oversized sock. So then you're going to be tensing up your foot and clenching your toes in order to not slip and slide around within your shoes. Okay, so the big reveal, I have put on a pair of toe socks, and this is the way to go. If you gotta be wearing socks at work for hygienic reasons, I think you should only go this way. Definitely don't go this way, and don't go for the big bulky sock either. Just do something that lets you spread your toes freely within your shoe entirely without adding too much bulk.